here's how to prep the scalloped heart shaker. And I've got the file already uploaded into Design Space, and I've added it to a fresh canvas here. And Design Space always imports everything as a group, and you can't change that. That's just the way the software works. And it gives everything, all the different components, the name of the file. So we're going to go in and reorganize this a bit. And I'm just going to drag this window over and move this down over here. The nice thing about when it comes in grouped, you can move anything or all of this around as a group there on the screen. So I'm just going to drag it down here. And then what I like to do is to go in and I'm going to double click on that layer right there. And I'm going to type in a new name. I'm going to call these the shaker bits because that's what they are. And then I'm going to go to each subsequent element here in this file and rename it. This is the window frame. And we have the acetate layer. And I did want to mention that in my files, when I create these, my acetate layer is always slightly smaller than the actual overall shape itself because I find that that helps me avoid any overhang when I'm assembling the pieces together. So this is the backing. All right, so everything now has been renamed in the proper order as to what they actually are. Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to ungroup. So now all of these can be moved around individually. And I'm going to take the window frame and duplicate it. I'm also going to rename it. Come on, double click in there, and I'm going to call it shaker wall. And then I'm going to change the color of it over here in the color picker. I'm going to change it to white so that I know what it is and can distinguish it from all these other pieces. You can make it any color you want, but I just did white for the purposes of this video. So now if I'm going to cut these shaker walls out of fun foam, I might just duplicate it twice. And that's all I need. But if I want to make my shaker walls out of cardstock, like I like to use a heavyweight 110-pound cardstock, I will instead, let's go back here. All right, I will grab that and I will go duplicate like 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there you can see I have 5 layers of these shaker walls. And you can do the craft foam, or you can do cardstock, whatever you like to use for your shaker walls. This is going to make a very sturdy shaker either way. So I'm just going to move these over here. And I'm going to arrange them. So I want these just so I can show you the purposes of I'm going to line these up. For some reason, it doesn't distribute them exactly the way I like when I'm looking at it on screen. So I'm going to center these horizontally, and I'm going to distribute them vertically. And there you can see those are going to be my shaker walls. These will get glued together to create the side walls of your shaker element. So I am going to go ahead and take these and group them. You don't have to, but that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to rename that group shaker walls. Okay. So now, because they're grouped, I can collapse this and I can move them all around, in the fashion that they're going to be, used. So I'm going to grab the backing. Now we need to kind of change the order. I wanted you to see how the assembly process is going to go. Now, when you send this to cut on your mat, it's going to distribute all of these in different mats by color, so that you know that you need to change those materials on your mat. So the shaker walls are going to get layered on top of, I'm going to drag this down here so you can see, whoops, yeah, okay. So first you have your base, then you're going to glue all these together onto the base or the backing there. And then you're going to fill with your shaker bits as you're physically putting this together. Whoops, let's put that right there. And then the acetate window will get glued on top of that. And then finally your window frame that goes on the outside, and it's the pretty piece. Like, these don't have to be pretty, but this one does. Okay, so that's how you assemble a shaker element. And you can use glue, you can use double-sided sticky tape, but I'll tell you, when you're gluing a bunch of these layers together, it's just a lot easier to use like the Barely Art glue, because it's got a nice fine tip applicator nozzle, and it's a very strong bonding glue once it dries, and it gives you a little bit of fudge room. So if you need to shift these around, you didn't quite get them straight and aligned together, that's what the glue does for you. Okay, and that's how you build a shaker. And so when we go to make it, you'll see that it displays all of these. So there's my sidewalls. Here you can see the acetate. My window frame is going to get cut there. There's my backing, and then here's my shaker bits. So it's going to separate everything out for you, and then you need to tell it what material you're cutting through as you move to each screen for cutting. To mention, let's go back and let's cancel out of this. All right. Let's say you've done all this prep work for your SVG file and you don't want to have to go through it every time you want to make this shaker. You can save this into your library, give it a name, scalloped heart shaker, and then choose a collection or create a collection. I've already got the maximum collections I can make because I'm not an Access subscriber, but if you're a subscriber, you can make as many collections as you want. This is the limit when you're not a subscriber to Cricut's Access program. So I'm just going to choose that, and then I'll click Save, and it has saved it to my projects or my stuff. So then when I go to my stuff, I'll find it there, and then when I click on it, it's going to show that all the prep work that we did before is ready to go. And then I can hit Make It, and it will take me straight to the cutting area here. So then I can start getting all my mats set up, and I don't have to go through all the process I went through before. So it's kind of a great time-saving feature in Design Space to save your file once you've got it all set up proper. All right, thanks for watching.